The larger the estate on a probate and the more complicated it is, the more complex that it is, it just takes more work. It's not something that is unmanageable, but you really do want to have somebody that's knowledgeable and experienced in doing it. If you have a business especially, that business needs to keep running and continue to run, because you don't want to lose all your customers. You don't want to lose all your clients or patients if it's a professional or a doctor's office. We have done lots of these different types of circumstances, and you've got to get the right things into place, and you actually have to get them in place quickly, because things can go missing, problems can arise. The longer the gap between the passing of the person and the time that you start dealing with it, the more complications and problems can come up. Taxes need to be paid. You need to make sure that mortgages, utilities, different loan notes and things, all that has to be taken care of. And the larger the estate, the more of that there is to be taken care of. So you need a team that is going to have the resources with which and the knowledge to be able to handle and take care of all those things, so that you're not experiencing accidental losses through the process. It needs to be taken care of. It needs to be taken care of properly, so that the assets are preserved to go to the decedent's loved ones as is that they're supposed to go to. If you own a business, you must properly plan for your estate. And if you haven't planned for your estate, it's urgent that you hire a probate attorney immediately, because you got to make payroll. You got to pay the accounts receivable. You got to pay the accounts payable. You got to receive the accounts receivable. You can't have the bank accounts locked up. It takes hours and more than hours. It takes days sometimes, or a week or two, to get into the court and get that stuff released. So you really need to get on that quickly. It sucks to have to do this stuff. You're already grieving the loss of your loved one, but you've got to make sure that that business continues, because you can lose your employees if you don't make the payroll. You can lose your customers, you can lose your clients, and you can take a multi-million-dollar business to failure and bankruptcy immediately if you don't take care of these things promptly. So if that does happen, we'll handle that on an emergency basis for you. Go to smoothprobate.com. We're happy to help you. So one of the things is we use a LexisNexis search, and we search for assets in the decedent's name, and we are looking to find all of the potential properties that exist. Internet searches are very helpful. We can do a lot of that stuff from the comfort of our office, but mostly we'll go through LexisNexis, or we'll hire a separate search company or a detective agency in order to find all the properties that are in the decedent's name for real estate and things like that. Sometimes there are problems that come up, and we've had cases where there was people that have died 50, 60, 100 years ago that we're still having to go back and trace through all these properties through land records in Texas, because things were not properly followed through with or tracked through the death of different people. So it can get a little bit complicated, but we're here to help. During the process, it's really important that we don't lose assets. We need to get what's called an administrator appointed to basically collect and protect those assets and administer or manage them while the probate case is pending. It's important so that the estate, which the estate is everything that the person left over, the things that that person, the decedent, would own and does own, it's called their estate is the word for that. And so their estate, we want to make sure it doesn't lose property. So we've got to get somebody appointed, an administrator, to collect all that stuff, because people are going to have misunderstandings and misassumptions about who this is supposed to go to, who that's supposed to go to. So they want to get a firm grasp on what exists first and protect that stuff. Then we figure out who it's supposed to go to. So after a probate is done, you've got people that have been distributed assets. And a lot of times you're giving money or property to people who have no knowledge or skill or experience in dealing with or managing. So it's very important. One recommendation that I make is Financial Peace University by Dave Ramsey for people on how to manage money. The problem that you have with people that get money that they have not earned is it falls through their fingers like water. They don't know how to protect it. They don't know how to keep it. They don't know what to spend it on. They don't know what not to spend it on. They're easily scammed out of it by different people. So it's very important that you have a financial advisor and proper legal professional that sets them up correctly and advises them even during the probate process I want them taking financial literacy courses and things during the probate process before things are even distributed to them, so that it doesn't just ruin their life. If you Google the lottery ruined my life, it's the same thing when people are inheriting money. You got to make sure that that's done correctly. If you've lost a loved one and you need to go through the probate process, then contact us at Smooth Probate, because probates don't have to be so hard.